Welcome back to Film Recall. The magical world of Fantastic Beasts is back with the crimes of Grindelwald. We last left off with a surprise appearance from Johnny Depp as Grindelwald, and now Grindelwald plans to raise an army of pure-blood wizards who will rule over muggles and other non-magical beings. The things that these movies do so well is creating a world that feels so much different than ours. Right off the bat, I was sucked back in. It's like we never skipped a beat. All of the effects, the colorful characters, the costumes, all of these things can take even a familiar looking street corner and make it feel like a place from another world. There's so many funny details where you look in the background of a scene and you're gonna find something that could only happen here. The world building is one of my favorite parts of this franchise, and it's just as good as ever. David Yates is back in the directing chair and he knows this series inside and out. He knows what makes these movies work. He does an incredible job staging the action. The effects are every bit as phenomenal as you would expect. It's easy to want to compare this to Harry Potter, but it's a completely different series with different intentions. I liked the first Fantastic Beasts. I enjoyed the new characters. I liked seeing a new section to the Harry Potter world that we hadn't seen before. And it was kind of a test to see if this series could work without Harry Potter and without the characters we've come to love. We've seen them for over a decade and all of a sudden, they're gone. But that changes with this story because Dumbledore is back. Jude Law plays a younger Dumbledore, and it's always cool to see a character that we've seen so many times before. We think we know everything about them, and then we go back in time and see what they used to be like when they were younger. He's witty, and he's different than the Dumbledore that we're used to. It's always a tall order to try to play a younger version of a character that everybody knows. Everyone has their expectations of what they want him to be like. I thought Jude Law did a fantastic job of showing different sides to Dumbledore that we haven't seen before. And even if his portrayal is a lot different than what we're used to, I think that's the point of the character, is to not just be the same thing that we're always used to seeing, but the point of seeing someone when they're younger is to get a new take on them and see a different side of them. And I thought he did a fantastic job. We also get to see Hogwarts Castle and the music during these moments. You know what I'm talking about. It's a blast from the past. It's gonna give you goosebumps. I am so happy that these franchises are starting to blend together more. It's starting to feel more like Harry Potter rather than just something so totally new like with the first story. But the real reason this series is so good is because of its characters. Eddie Redmayne is back as Newt Scamander, and he's even better this time around. It seems like he's getting a handle on who Newt is, and he's just perfect for the role. Johnny Depp was revealed to be the villain at the end of the last movie, and he returns as Grindelwald in this sequel. He's good in the role, but I wish this series had stronger villains. No one so far has come close to what Voldemort was for Harry Potter, and Grindelwald is the weakest part here. Sure, he's a scary guy, he does terrible things, but Voldemort is an iconic villain. The look of him, the way he sounds, the way he moves around, the way people respond to him when he's not even on screen. He was always a constant threat because he felt like an actual threat, not just because you were told that he was a threat. Johnny Depp is doing the best he can with what he has, but Grindelwald just does not have the effect that Voldemort gives off. The story itself is more interesting this time around for the main reason that these characters have more things to do. Last time was all about meeting the characters, and this sequel is about laying the groundwork for the future of the series. A lot of new things are introduced, so I would compare this movie to Deathly Hallows Part 1, where a lot of things are being set up, a lot of questions are being asked, and there's not a lot of payoff. Aside from something that happens in the third act, that was really good. That's all I'm gonna say. Otherwise, a lot of the story is having a character do this, then go here, now go here, then do this. So it may not feel like the most fulfilling movie, but again, this is only the second story, so we'll have to see how all of this pays off in the future. Having J.K. Rowling write these stories is great because nobody knows this world better than her. But I think she's still getting used to writing a movie versus a book. She's overflowing with ideas that I thought were really imaginative, but it might have been better off as a book. She's used to the way that you can write a 600-page novel, but that doesn't work as a 130-page script. This is 3 movies worth of story packed into one, and that could either be a good thing to you or a bad thing. I hope going forward that they can figure out the right places to cut out subplots and give more time to the main story. One thing about the Harry Potter movies is even if they weren't the most faithful to the books, they worked as movies and they knew what to cut out and what could be left in to keep the movie flowing. I hope they can figure that out for this franchise going forward. The series still hasn't reached the height of Harry Potter, but we're still in the beginning phase. The Sorcerer's Stone was an introduction to the world, Chamber of Secrets was laying the groundwork for the rest of the series, and Prisoner of Azkaban is where the series really hit its stride. There's a lot to enjoy here, pieces are starting to fall into place that makes me really excited for the future of the series. It's starting to now feel like an extension of the Harry Potter universe, and the ending is great. It's gonna have fans scrambling for the Harry Potter movies and books to figure out what that means for the rest of the series. I'm really excited for the direction that the series is headed in. I'm gonna give The Crimes of Grindelwald a 7 out of 10. Let me know in the comments below what your favorite Harry Potter movie is. Thanks for watching, and if you're new to the channel, you can subscribe for more movie reviews every week.